Good morning. We have today Unit 10, Scared to Death, Verb Pattern 2, Manage to, Used to, ed, adjectives, and exclamations. We have a verb pattern and the infinitive. Complete the text using these words: began to feel, started aching, used to have, went camping, decided to stand up. Don't look down. Paul Lay dances with death in the mountains of southern Spain. I have always enjoyed walking. When I was a boy, I used to go walking at weekends with my father. We went camping. Number one is went camping. We went camping and climbing together. I try to visit a new place every year. Last year I decided to walk a path in Spain called El Camino del Rey, which means the King's Way. It is one of the highest and most dangerous footpaths in Europe. It used to be very safe, but now it is falling down. Here footpaths means ممرات للمشاة, a path which someone walks on. It took a train to the village. I took a train to the village of El Coro. And started to walk towards the mountains. I was very excited. Then the adventure began. The path was about 3 feet wide and there were holes in it. Number two, used to have. Number two is used to have. It used to have a handrail, but not anymore. Here handrail means a rail for support or helping people to hold on. يعني مثل السكة موجودة حتى الشخص يمسكها to help him hold on. I didn't know what to do. Should I go on my hands and knees or stand up? I decided to stand up. Number three is decided to stand up and walk very slowly. At times, the path was only as wide as my 2 boots. I stopped to have a rest, but there was nowhere to sit. I began to feel. Number 4 is began to feel. I began to feel very frightened. It was impossible to look down or look up. I was concentrating so hard that my body started aching. Number 5, started aching. That my body started aching. There was no thrill of danger, no enjoyment of the view. I thought I was going to die. I finally managed to get to the end. I was shaking, يعني أرتجف, and I was covered in sweat. Sweat يعني عرق, من الشخص يتعرق, عرق, from heat and fear. I fell to the ground exhausted. Here we have these verbs, either the infinitive or the verb pattern. We'll have it or we'll study it in the other slides. Are these verbs followed by the infinitive or the ing in the text? As I said, there are verbs followed by the infinitive or by the ing in the previous text. Find the examples of used to plus infinitive. طبعا استخدمنا بال الباسج أو الباراجراف السابق كلمة used to have. Used to, what does used to express? It expresses a past action which doesn't happen anymore. إذا ال used to تعبر عن حدث في الماضي اللي ما راح يحدث بعد الآن. For example, I used to play games with my brother but now I don't. إذا هذا ال past action, used to play, an action in the past, and now he doesn't play with his brother as the example says. فإذا used to تعبر عن حدث في الماضي اللي ما يحدث بعد الآن. For example, as I said, I used to play games with my brother but now I don't. For example, I used to go to primary school يعني الابتدائية but now I don't. Notice the pronunciation of used to. هنا هاي J هي J لكن هي sound ما دام between هاي السلاشز إذا هي sound. Used to هاي U تنقري used to. Complete these examples from the text. Number 1, I used to go walking at weekends. From the text أنا راح أحل لكم إياها لأنه نرجع على الباراجراف نفسه نستخدم بعض الكلمات الموجودة بالباسج. I used to go walking at weekends. I didn't know what to do. تلاحظون هنا ال walking هي ال ing form و I didn't know what to do هاي ال infinitive form. I stopped to have a rest. I stopped to have هاي ال infinitive form. I stopped to have a rest. It was impossible to look down. إذا مثل ما قلت لكم هاي الكلمات اللي دا أخليها بالسبيس هي موجودة بالباراجراف وده راح بعدين إن شاء الله نشوف الفرق بين الانفينيتيف والاي جي فورم يعني هذا الفيرب باترن. It was impossible to look down. تلاحظون to look هاي infinitive. There was nowhere to sit. Choose the correct form. تختارون الكوريكت فورم. طبعا بعض الأفعال تأتي كإنفينيتيف وياها إنفينيتيف وبعضها ممكن نستخدم الآي إن جي. لازم أنتم طبعا تفرقون بين الأفعال اللي تأتي مع الإنفينيتيف والأفعال التي تأتي مع الآي إن جي. Choose the correct form. I've decided to stop or stopping smoking. فإذا decided to stop smoking لأن هنا الفعل يجي وراء infinitive. I decided to stop smoking. I managed to find or finding my passport. I managed to find. أكثر شيء managed تجي معها to. I managed to find my passport. Let's go shopping. Please let me go or going to the picnic. Let me go to the picnic. Please let me go to the picnic. Would you like something to eat or eating? Would you like something to eat? I need a recipe for a cake that's easy to make or making. I need a recipe for a cake that is easy to make. Here the infinitive. We use the infinitive to make. طلاب ممكن يعني انتوا تفكرون شلون راح تعرفون انه هذا نستخدم ويا الانفينيتيف او اللي نستخدم ويا الاي ان جي فورم. There must be a rule. لكن هنا there is no rule. يعني you have to know by yourself. ماكو فد رول معين انه تعرفون انه هذا الفيرب يأتي مع infinitive or ing. طبعا بعض مثلا الافعال تأتي مع الانفينيتيف. مثلا هنا decide هنا اجى وراها infinitive to stop. يعني you have to know by yourself. ماكو certain rule. ماكو فد شيء معين فضوابط معينة أو rule أو يعني أي نظام معين أو أي قانون معين ممكن تعرفون إنه شلون تستخدمون الفعل. مثلا قلنا هنا تلاحظون decided بالفيرست sentence استخدمنا وراء infinitive. الأفعال الأخرى مثل decide want promise plan forget هاي تأتي مع وراها يجي infinitive. مثلا I forgot to play tennis. I promised to go to the mall مثلا. I wanted to play football. فإذا يعني there is no rule. لكن أكو مثلا بعض الأفعال ممكن تأتي معها الاثنين الانفينيتيف والing form. مثلا start تصير to start and يعني مثلا وراها فعل ب ing form. مثلا it started raining ممكن يأتي مع ing هنا. أو مثلا it started to rain فإذا ورا الفعل start اجى الفعل form ing والفورم مثلا اللي هو infinitive it started raining or مثلا it started to rain. فإذا بعض الأفعال تأتي معها الانفينيتيف بعدها أو الing form مثل ما ذكرت لكم start begin continue. أكو طبعا فد فعل اللي هو bother همينه ممكن تأتي معها either infinitive or ing form. Choose the correct form. First sentence, I went to the shops to buy or to buy some shoes. I went to the shops يا أما for to buy or to buy some shoes. أكيد to buy معناها الفعل اللي موجود بالجملة يأخذ الانفينيتيف. فإذا I went to the shops to buy some shoes. Do you enjoy read or reading or to read؟ الفعل enjoy أعتقد مر عليكم سابقا بالإعدادية يأتي الفعل اللي بعده with the ing form. إذن do you enjoy reading؟ Do you enjoy reading؟ When I was young I used to go or going ice skating. إذن أكيد الاستخدام used to وراها. When I was young I used to go ice skating. إذا number 3 is to go. He told me he is moving to Canada. I didn't know what say or to say or saying. I didn't know what to say. إذا بعد الفعل اجى infinitive. I didn't know what to say. Number 5. When we were on holiday we went swim or to swim or swimming every day. إذا when we were on holiday we went swimming. We went swimming every day. لا طبعا أكو بعض الأفعال are usually يعني followed by the infinitive. أذكر لكم بعضها. مثلا hope offer يأتي بعدها الانفينيتيف. Forget, fail, agree, manage, learn. For example ask. الأفعال اللي مثلا love and hate and like. love, hate and like هاي state verbs إذا تتذكروها أفعال الحالة. ممكن تأتي بعدها ing or the infinitive. لكن when talking about repeated action ممكن تأتي بعدها الاثنين ing or the infinitive. When talking about repeated actions انتبهوا. إذن love والlike والhate ممكن يأتي بعدها can be followed by ing or the infinitive when talking about repeated action عندما نتكلم عن الأحداث المتكررة أشياء إحنا نكررها. For example I love reading long stories. هاي أشياء أنا دائما أسويها أكررها. reading long stories. I love reading long stories. وممكن نقول I love to read long stories. قلنا لأنه ممكن إذا repeated actions هاي الأفعال love, hate and like ممكن نستخدمها وياها نستخدم معها ال ing or ال infinitive. فإذا إحنا when we are talking about repeated actions هاي تنتبهوا لها. For example مثلا قلت I love reading long stories. I love to read long stories. لكن when we talk about situations not repeated actions تنتبهون من نتكلم عن ال situations المواقف مو الحالات المتكررة أو الأحداث المتكررة من but when we are talking about situations المواقف we use the ing form. We only use the ing form. For example, Paul loves living مثلا by the river. For example, do you like working as a waitress? فإذا من أكو موقف معين احنا نستخدم فقط ال ing form with the verbs love, like and hate. We have the grammar reference of unit 10. We have here the verb patterns. أنا انطيتكم بعد الشرح انطيتكم هذا السلايد اللي هو لأنه له علاقة بال verb patterns والinfinitives اللي ذكرناها بالسلايدات السابقة. طبعا we covered verb pattern 1 in unit 5 if you remember that. And there is a list of verb patterns on page 143 ممكن تطلعون عليها. Verb pattern اللي هي 2 number 1 verb plus 2 plus the infinitive اللي هو الverb. For example, they managed to escape. I tried to visit somewhere new. We decided to go abroad. فإذا أكو الverb هنا managed and then the to and then the infinitive. infinitive يعني الفعل المجرد يأتي بعد التو. آسفة. verb, the first verb pattern here, verb plus 2 plus infinitive. Verb I try is the verb to and the infinitive is visit. And the third example also decided to go. مثل ما ذكرت لكم انه decide يأتي فقط بعدها الانفينيتيف بالسلايدات السابقة ذكرت هالشيء. اذا معناها المانجد verb pattern المانجد الverb managed يأتي بعدها الانفينيتيف and also the verb try يأتي بعدها الانفينيتيف and also decide as I mentioned before. Go plus ing يعني فعل الverb plus ing for sports and activities. أكثر شيء نستخدم go plus verb ing for sports and activities. For example, let's go skiing. We went swimming. إذا الفعل go plus ing يعني صار الماضي مال الفعل go plus الفعل لازم be ing فإذا skiing. هنا went past of go plus the verb ing. إذا for sports and activities we use the verb go plus verb ing. Verb plus a subject plus an infinitive without to. هذا verb pattern الverb plus a subject plus the infinitive without to. For example, my teachers made me work hard. My parents let me go out when I want. هنا عندنا first example الverb made, a subject me, الانفينيتيف without to work. تلاحظون ماكو to قبل الورك إذا هي infinitive without to. My parents الverb let, a subject me, and infinitive without to is go out. الفعل هو go out. إذا الverb first verb pattern is verb plus 2 plus infinitive. The second one go plus verb ing for sports and activities. And the third verb pattern here in this unit is verb plus subject plus infinitive without to. And now we have the ing adjectives and the ed adjectives. The difference between them. The ing adjectives describe a situation, a person or thing. إذا ال ing adjectives تصف الموقف أو الشخص أو الشيء. For example, an interesting life, a boring teacher, an exciting film. إذا هنا ال interesting اللي هي ال adjective with ing describes either a situation or a person or a thing. Here it described the life, an interesting life, a life. Here it described a person, a boring teacher, then a person. And here it described a thing which is the film. إذن adjectives الصفات اللي بيها ing يا أما تصف situation, person or thing. ed adjectives يعني adjectives ending with ed. هنا adjectives ending with ing. هنا ed adjectives describe how people feel. إذن ed adjectives تصف كيف يشعرون الأشخاص. هذا الفرق بيناتهم. For example, I'm very interested in modern art. هذا وصف للشخص، لشعور الشخص. He's interested in modern art. We are bored at the end of the lesson. هذا هم يعني شعور الأشخاص. Bored يشعرون بالملل at the end of the lesson. إذن feeling of people. ed adjectives describe the feeling of people. She's excited about going on holiday tomorrow. هذا feeling of her that she is excited because she is going on holiday tomorrow. إذن ing adjectives يعني adjective اللي تجي في نهاية ing describes situation, person or a thing. And the adjective which ends in ed adjectives describe how people feel. Vocabulary ed ing adjectives. How can you describe the experiences below? Use an adjective from the box. إذا هنا experiences أكو هنا تجارب أشخاص and we choose an adjective which describes the experiences below. الادجectives هي frightening, exciting, surprising, terrifying, boring, exhausting. هاي كلها ing adjectives. إذن describes situation or people or a thing. The first experience, you get stuck in a lift. stuck يعني شخص يعني stuck معلق أو يعني عالق. You get stuck in a lift يعني مصعد. فإذا هي الإكسبيرينس إنه أنت جربت إنه عالق في مصعد. which adjective describes this experience? You can use terrifying or frightening. Both are correct. Terrifying, number one. The second experience, you go on a 15-mile walk, then climb 3 mountains. تذهب إلى 15-mile walk بعد ذلك تتسلق 3 جبال. أكيد الإكسبيرينس هاي الادجective which describes this experience is exhausting. متعبة جدا يعني exhausting. Number 2 is exhausting. Number 3, you go on the biggest roller coaster in the world. roller coaster هاي اللعبة اللي موجودة في مدن الألعاب اللي هي تكون تصعد وتنزل على السكة نسميها roller coaster. You go on the biggest roller coaster in the world. You can choose either frightening, exciting or terrifying. We choose exciting. You go on the biggest roller coaster in the world. Exciting. Number 3 is exciting. Number 4, you find a spider in the bath. You can use frightening. This experience, the adjective which describes this experience is frightening. Number 4, frightening. Number 5, someone shows you their holiday photos for hours and hours. شخص shows you يعرض عليك أو يشوفك صور العطلة for hours and hours لساعات وساعات. إذن the adjective which describes this situation or this person is boring. So number 5 is boring. Your teacher, number 6, your teacher says you're all such wonderful students that I want يعني give you more homework. So number 6 is surprising. The adjective which describes this situation is surprising. So number 1 is terrifying, number 2 exhausting, number 3 exciting, number 4 frightening, number 5 boring, and number 6 surprising. Complete the sentences using one of these adjectives. عندنا ال ED adjectives وال ING adjectives in this slide. يعني أما excited or exciting, frightened, frightening, and so on. Number 1, I met a famous film star today. Really? How exciting. exciting لأن احنا مدى نصف شعور الشخص، نصف الحالة أو السيتويشن. Really, how exciting. Number 2, I spent 4 hours going around the museum. Was it? We can use interesting. Wasn't. Was it interesting? No, it was boring. No, it was boring. Number 3, I haven't heard from my parents for 2 months. You must be worried. Worried. You must be worried. لأن ده نصف هنا شعور الشخص إنه أنا ما عرفت أخبار أهلي، يعني صار لي ما أعرف أخبار أهلي لمدة شهرين. فإذا you must be worried، إذا أنت أكيد قلق. فهذا how a person feel. Number 4, whoa Maria, what are you doing here? Why are you so surprised? Surprised لأن إحنا بدنا نتكلم عن شعور الشخص. Why are you so surprised to see me? I failed my exam. Number 5, I failed my exam. I worked really hard for it. I'm so disappointed. Disappointed. Number 5, disappointed لأن ده نصف شعور الشخص how a person feels. Number 6, smoke started to come from the front of the plane. Weren't you? ممكن نستخدم frightened. Weren't you frightened? فإذا number 6 frightened يعني ده نصف شعور الشخص أنه الدخان يبدأ من مقدمة الطائرة. فإذا weren't you frightened فنصف شعور الشخص. Number 7, my computer's broken and I don't understand the manual. It's so confusing. فشي محير مقلق. It's so confusing. فإذا ده نصف situation that the computer is broken. It's so confusing. I'll read it again for you. Number 1, exciting, and number 2 here interesting, and here in this space boring, in this blank boring. Number 3 worried. Number 3 worried, yes. Number 4 surprised. Number 5 disappointed. Number 6 frightened, and number 7 confusing. We have everyday English exclamations with so and such. طبعا من نستخدم السو أكثر شيء يعني بالسبوكن، لكن صحيحة من تكتبوها in writing يعني. لكن استخدام السو here so احنا التعجب هنا يعني موضوعنا التعجب باستخدام السو والسج. من نستخدم السو يعني has the effect of making the adjective stronger. احنا حتى نخلي الادجكتيف الصفة قوية أكثر شيء نستخدم السو and it becomes more emphatic يعني تكون emphasis على الصفة. فإذا نستخدم السو to make the adjective more stronger and more emphatic. عندنا نستخدم ال so. After the so comes an adjective. هسه راح اشرح لكم عن ال so وال such a or and such so many and so much. شنو اللي ممكن نستخدم حتى تعرفون تتعرفون على استخداماتها. So plus adjective يعني so وراها adjective. Such an اللي هي هنا such يا اما a or an. Such an comes after it plus يصير singular and countable noun beginning with a vowel. فإذا such an plus يصير بعدها singular countable noun and beginning with a vowel. Is such a only such a plus بعدها يأتي singular countable noun لكن beginning with a consonant. إذا الفرق بين such an و such a. such an قلنا singular countable noun لكن beginning with a vowel. such a also singular also countable noun لكن beginning with a consonant. such after the such plus plural noun بعدها يأتي plural noun. such ممكن يأتي بعدها uncountable noun also. so much يأتي بعدها uncountable noun. so many plural noun. احنا نستخدم so many, we use so many or so much to make expressions of quantity more emphatic. إذا نستخدم so many, so much حتى expressions of quantity يعني تكون أكثر تأكيدا more emphatic. مثلا احنا من نقول I have a lot of money ونقول I have so much money. تلاحظون وراها طبعا exclamation mark. تلاحظون اللي هي هاي استخدمنا so much صارت more emphatic. نقول I have a lot of money or I have so much money comes يعني became more emphatic لأكثر يعني أكو emphasis. okay here we are all so worried. تلاحظون استخدمنا بعد الوريد adjective ed adjective. We are all so worried. The Titanic was such a luxurious ship. يعني luxurious فشي كلش راقي. luxurious ship. إذا استخدمنا such a اللي هي وراها singular countable noun beginning with a consonant. It was such an awful accident. It was such an awful accident. هنا تلاحظون بدأ countable noun بدأ with a vowel مثل ما ذكرت لكم من such an after it countable noun beginning with a vowel. They saw such huge icebergs. They saw such huge icebergs. هنا plural noun عندنا. It was such terrible weather. It was such terrible weather. There are so many places. هنا استخدمنا بعدها countable plural noun. There are so many places I want to go to. I've got so much work. Work is an uncountable noun as I mentioned previously. Complete the sentences in A with so, such a, such, so many or so much. Then match them with the sentences in B. Number 1, their house is such a mess. Their house is such a mess. I don't know how they live in it. So number 1, their house is such a mess. I don't know how they live in it. Number 2, there were so many people at my birthday party. You can say we had to order more food. Number 3, I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. تلاحظون هنا adjective اجى بعد so. I'm so hungry. I could eat a horse. طبعا هذا تعبير مجازي، يعني أكيد ما يأكل حصان، لكن يعبر عنه أنه هو كلش جوعان. I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. Noor and Nabil are such nice people. such هنا استخدمنا فقط such. Noor and Nabil are such nice people, but هنا matching with be, but I can't stand their kids. ما أتحمل أولادهم. But I can't stand their kids. I've spent so much money this week. I've spent so much money this week. I don't know where it's all gone. I don't know where it's all gone. Number 6, a present for me. A present for me. You're so kind. You're so kind. You're so kind. You really didn't have to. فإذا هنا استخدمنا so kind. You really didn't have to. Number 7, we've had such a nice time. Thank you so much for inviting us. We had such a nice time. Thank you so much for inviting us. Number 8, Molly's such a clever child. She understands every word I say. Molly's such a clever child. She understands every word I say. We have the grammar reference of used to. The form used plus to plus infinitive. Used to is the same for all persons. Either in form used plus to plus an infinitive. And it is the same for all persons. Positive and negative. I used to smoke. She used to smoke. We used to. They used to smoke. And the negative, they didn't used to like cooking, or we didn't used to smoke. The question, what did you used to do? What did you used to do? Short answer, did you used to smoke a lot? انتبهوا على short answer with a question. Short answer, did you used to smoke a lot? Yes, I did. A short answer, or no, I didn't. Note, the question form is not often used. The question form مو دائما استخدامها. We ask a question in the past simple and reply using used to. احنا نستخدم يعني نسأل بالpast simple وبالجواب نستخدم used to. For example, where did you go on holiday when you were young? تلاحظون السؤال هذا شائع استخدامه. هنا هذا الفورم what did you used to do استخدامه يعني is often not used يعني، لكن من نستخدم السؤال من نسأل السؤال نستخدم past simple، لكن reply when somebody replies he replies with the form used to. For example, where did you go on holiday when you were young؟ تلاحظون استخدمنا هنا غير سؤال غير صيغة. الإجابة تكون we used to go camping in France. We used to go camping in France. Never is often used. ممكن نستخدم never اللي هو adverb of frequency. Never is often used. I never used to watch TV. صحيحة هاي الجملة. I never used to watch TV. طبعا هاي مع كل الكلام بهذا السلايد عن used to. فإذا ممكن نستخدم never. Be careful not to use example. I use a knife to cut an apple. لا يصير عندكم confusion فتحيرة أو فد خربطة بين الاستخدام use. will used to. من نقول I use a knife to cut an apple يعني استخدم سكينة لقطع تفاحة. ما يعني استخدامها يفرق عن ال used to. ال used to طبعا هي بالماضي I used to go camping but not anymore. تذكرون بالسلايد قلت لكم معناها انه something happened in the past and not doing it anymore. مثلا I used to go to school but now I don't. Be careful not to confuse to use. For example, I use a knife to cut an apple and used to. The pronunciation is also different. يعني ال pronunciation بين ال use وال used to. تلاحظون هنا باع ال مثل الجي تنكتب هذا الساوند لأن قلنا between these two slashes. فهنا use باعوا حتى الزاء بالأخير use. هنا used to تأت اللفظ used to or used to. هذا طبعا امريكان والانجلش اكو لكن هنا use بعد تلاحظون الزه بالاخير وused بعد شلون اللفظ used to. الuse of used to is used first of all to express a past habit. نستخدمها وين ال used to لتعبر عن فد habit فد عادة معينة في الماضي. He used to play football every Saturday but now he doesn't. مثل المثال اللي ذكرت لكم إياها على school. I used to go to school but now I don't. فإذا to express a past habit. He used to play football every Saturday but now he doesn't. هو متعود يعني سابقا يلعب فوتبول كل سبت لكن الآن هو ما يلعب. Number 2 to express a past state. ممكن يعبر عن حالة في الماضي مو habit مو عادة أو فشي متعود إنه يسوي حالة في الماضي. For example, they used to be happy together but now they fight all the time. هاي past state. They used to be happy together but now they fight all time. يعني هم سابقا كانوا يعني سعيدين مع بعض together لكن الآن هم يعني fight all the time. فإذا express a past habit and a past state. Used to and the past simple. The past simple can also be used to express a past habit or state. تذكروها أكيد أنه ال past simple يا أما يعني فد تعبر عن past habit فد عادة معينة or حالة معينة. He played football every Sunday when he was a boy. هاي كلها بالpast habit هاي. They were happy together when they were first married. هاي همينة هاي state a past state. هاي past هنا habit هنا بالجملة الثانية or the second example is a past state. Only the past simple can be used for actions which happened once in the past. لكن ال past simple مو used to. فقط ال past simple ممكن نستخدمه عن أحداث أو أفعال حدثت مرة واحدة في الماضي. يعني ما يصير نستخدم ال used to الشيء الحدث مرة واحدة فقط. نستخدم ال past simple. For example, we used to go to France every summer but once in 1987 we went to Greece. تلاحظون هنا ما استخدمنا هنا صحيح بالبداية استخدمنا used to لكن من شيء حدث حالة حدثت مرة واحدة أو فعل حدث مرة واحدة نستخدم ال past simple. But once قلنا مرة واحدة في سنة يعني حدد الوقت 1987 we went استخدم ال past simple. ما قال we used to go to Greece لا لأنه حدث لمرة واحدة فقط. Last night I stayed at home حدث مرة واحدة إنه last night he stayed or she stayed at home or I stayed at home فاستخدمنا past simple. Used to has no equivalent in the present. Used to ماكو إلها فشي يعني موافق معها ماكو شيء equivalent ماكو شيء مساوي بالمضارع أو بالوقت الحاضر. The present simple is used for present habits and states. The present simple نستخدمها لل present habits and states للعادات في الوقت الحالي أو بالمضارع وكذلك الحالات. She lives in New York. She lives in New York. هذا present simple. She sometimes comes to London on business. فإذا هنا استخدمنا ال present simple which is used for present habits and states. Infinitives. Infinitives are used to express purpose. إذا للغرض نستخدمها للغرض infinitive. They answer the question why. إذا الانفينيتيف تجب عن السؤال اللي نستخدم في بداية why. This use is very common in English. هذا استخدامه جدا شائع في اللغة الإنجليزية. For example, I'm learning English to get a good job. بقى السؤال مالته مثلا they answer why are you learning English؟ نجاوب استخدمنا why. نجاوب I'm learning English to get هنا infinitive a good job. She's saving her money to buy a car. مثلا نقولها why are you saving money؟ She's saving her money to buy a car. فإذا infinitive they answer the question why. I'm going to Scotland to visit my parents. Why are you going to Scotland؟ تلاحظون كل هاي الأسئلة بدت بالواي. they answer the question why نستخدمه بالجواب الانفينيتيف. I'm going to Scotland to visit my parents. Note, some languages express the idea of purpose with a translation of for plus infinitive. English does not use for. باللغة الإنجليزية من نستخدم الفور، لكن بعض اللغات يعني ترجمون for plus infinitive. For example, in English, I came here to learn English. استخدمنا الانفينيتيف هنا. I came here to learn English. Incorrect or not to say I came here for to learn English. ما نخلي الفور ويا الانفينيتيف باللغة الإنجليزية خطأ. I came here for learn English لا نستخدم الانفينيتيف. Number 2, infinitives are used after certain adjectives. ممكن نستخدم الانفينيتيف after certain adjective. For example, I'm pleased or surprised to see you. هنا adjective. It's hard or important or impossible to learn Chinese. إذا ممكن نستخدم الانفينيتيفز after certain adjectives اللي هنا استخدمنا to see و to learn infinitives after these adjectives. Infinitives are used after the question words who, what, where, how. إذا ممكن نستخدم الانفينيتيفز after who or what or where or how. For example, can you tell me how to get؟ إذا استخدمنا الانفينيتيف after how. To get to the station, I don't know who to speak to. استخدمنا الانفينيتيف بعد who. Show me what to do. استخدمنا الانفينيتيف after what. Number 4, infinitives are used after the compounds something, nothing, nowhere, anybody. هاي compound. هنا something لأن some plus thing, nothing, nowhere, anybody. مثلا have something to eat. I've got nothing to do. There is nowhere to hide. Is there anyone to talk to؟ إذا استخدمنا هاي compounds and after it the infinitives. These infinitives are used after these compounds. Thank you.